I spent a lot of time and money on this car, and some of the mods I'm about to tell you about actually made it worse. If you're building a BMW 335, this might save you thousands. I'm not saying that these parts are bad, but they just weren't right for my build. Let me explain. What's up, guys? It's Witty, and this channel is about the grinds, the builds, and the journey towards something bigger. Today, I'm gonna be honest about something people usually don't talk about. Every mod I regret on my big turbo 335. I've put a lot of time and money into this car, and most of it was worth it, but some of it was quite literally just a waste. This isn't a hate video at all, and it's not about me bashing parts. It's just real ownership and what I would do if I was starting over. If you're gonna learn anything from this video, I really hope you learn some ideas that could help you save time and money. One of the first regrets I made with this car was chasing sound over function. Let me explain. When I first modified this car, I didn't realize it didn't have secondary cats installed, and that's totally my bad for not checking beforehand. This car with downpipes and no secondary cats sounded awful. The cold starts were rough, and it even got to the point where I couldn't even drive this car in automatic mode anymore. The drone in automatic mode was so bad, it was like ear piercing. The natural backfires that this car produced gave me a lot of unwanted attention and actually almost got me arrested when I was 20 due to a noise ordinance. But honestly, I think the cop just wanted to be an ass. My car sounded cool for about a week, and then after that, it just got annoying. So once I saved up some money, I installed vibrant resonators and I cut the mufflers off. If I were to do it all over again, I would probably just go with a nice, high quality valved exhaust. And honestly, I just may do that soon. Another big regret is I actually put used parts in this car to try to save me a little bit of money at the time, but that actually costed me more money in the long run. Parts I purchased from a nearby shop were actually used parts and weren't even what I was told they were gonna be. The downpipes were supposed to be VRSF. A few months after I got it installed, I actually looked and there were some off-brand. They weren't even stamped. I had no idea what they were. The charge pipe was off-brand too. A few weeks after I got my car back, I noticed something. The vacuum line coming from the top of my blow-off valve wasn't even hooked up to anything. Thankfully, my car wasn't tuned at the time, or else I would have been met with a lot of issues regarding having more power and more boost without a blow-off valve properly being hooked up. But now I know I should only be buying top quality parts, and if I do have parts installed by anybody, I need to make sure that person is reputable and I can trust them. What actually happens in instances like this is you will actually have to basically buy the part twice. You'll buy it the first time, maybe it's used, or maybe it's just a cheap part that you're just like, oh yeah, this will work for right now. But a lot of times, if you're really wanting your end result to be positive, you're gonna need to buy the right part. I've learned the hard way that saving money up front will actually cost you more money in the long run. Modding without a clear goal or plan in mind. Maybe you're one of those people that just buys parts randomly. You'll buy parts randomly, not realizing that some parts are the middle grounds for other parts. It's almost like buying a turbo without a manifold. Or maybe you'll change your mind mid-build. Let's say you wrapped your car a certain color and in your mind you thought it would look really good with the wheels you have on your car. And then after everything's said and done, it looks hideous with the wheels that are on your car. Then you're having to spend more money on wheels and tires. Or maybe you hate it so much that you don't even want to bring your car out in public because in your eyes, it just looks that bad. Or maybe you'll get stuck having to redo work you've already done. And most of the time, installing mods the second time is not any easier than the first. I also regret doing some aesthetic mods or even performance mods too early. When I first started modifying this car, I had spent so much money on trying to make it faster that I actually neglected a lot of the simple things like suspension components, wheels, tires, and even necessary maintenance. I know. As many of you know, the style 313s that come factory on the 335 ISs are very prone to crack. And once you have a cracked wheel and it gets welded once, it's going to crack again. Well, that happened to me. This car was my daily at the time, and it quite literally almost left me stranded. And being 20 years old, I was out of my job because I had just got injured. I was basically forced to affirm wheels for this car. It definitely hurt me financially just because I had an apartment. Like I said, I was out from my job because I got injured. They were supposed to be paying me, but I was not getting paid as often as I was supposed to or as much as I was supposed to be getting paid. Another instance was that my car was on 100% stock suspension at 135,000 miles, and I had some friends invite me to the mountains with them, and I quite literally almost got me and my passenger killed chasing a C7 Corvette. So as soon as I had the extra money, I ordered a set of BC coilovers, and after that, the car finally started to feel planted enough for me to take it through the corners again. I should have put all the money I put into making this car faster into proper suspension, wheels, and tires to keep this car planted and safe on the roadways. Because the last thing that needs to happen is someone get injured or even killed due to neglecting important parts on my vehicle. If I were to do it all again, I would try to build the car from the ground up. Suspension components, wheels, tires, and then I would go from there. This may be the biggest one, not prioritizing reliability mods from the start. I always say maintenance before mods, and I live by that. On the M54 platform, there is a multitude of items you need to replace before you ever think about chasing big power. From everything ignition related to every part of your motor that can leak fluids, which most of the time is a much bigger problem than you know, to keeping these cars cool, and to everything fueling. Big power means nothing if the car isn't dependable, and reliability mods are nowhere near as exciting as power mods, but they are what keeps your car usable. Lots of times people will rush parts on their builds because they want results fast, and I was definitely one of those people. Maybe you feel pressured by seeing other cars similar to yours on social media doing cooler things. Or maybe you're wanting to show off to your friends that your car is finally done. But in reality, the job's never finished.
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so.
And the bad thing with rushing a lot of parts of your build is maybe you rushed a part that you really needed to research first, and since you didn't research it, you're gonna run into more problems down the line. Looking back, all the rush decisions that I made with this car are the ones that I regret the most. If I had to start all over, I would do everything entirely different. I'd make sure to write all of my goals down and truly think about how I should go about it. I would make sure to do all necessary maintenance before I ever did any mods, but don't get me wrong, performance mods are okay in between maintenance mods, as long as it's not gonna interfere with further maintenance mods in the future. If you're installing a part you're gonna have to remove just to do maintenance, I would say wait. I would make sure to purchase top quality parts first, so that way I'm not having to buy parts twice, because if you're having to spend a little extra money in the beginning, it's always better to save money in the long run. And most importantly, I would have to remind myself to be patient, because nothing exponential happens overnight. And it's okay to take your time, even though it feels like everyone else around you is rushing. If I would have followed this, obviously my build would have taken a lot longer, but it would have been done the right way the first time. If you're building a car right now and things aren't perfect, don't worry, that's normal. People evolve, builds evolve, and goals change. The mistakes do not mean that you failed, they just mean that you learned. I'm still building, still believing in my goals, and one day I'm gonna look back and say, this was all worth it. Same dream, new levels. I just wanna say thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers, which is insane. So if you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends, help me out. Stay safe, I'll see you in the next one.